Now we're taking you to Germany. In the small town of Tübingen, many residents were active participants in the Nazi extermination apparatus. Almost 80 years after the end of World War II, the town's inhabitants have chosen to confront their past and delve into the actions of their ancestors. We bring you a report by Gilad Chalmor and cameraman Dani Sterk, who is also briefly seen in the footage.
In 1938, when the persecution of the Jews was getting particularly intense, he boasted that he had been one of the people who had burned down the synagogue in Darmstadt. He was considered an extremely malicious adversary towards all Jews.
My name is Anna. I'm 32 years old. I'm a descendant of Nazi perpetrators, and all of my 4 great-grandfathers had been Nazis, and I'm sharing my story now.
Anna, a musician, has a unique collection in her library. Tucked between music books and the New Testament, there is a folder filled with documents she has collected. It is Pandora's box, full of sinister history.
So this was the monster of Heffenhausen, the main leader.
This was your grandfather,
great-grandfather, yes. He hated the Jews, so he was responsible that the city he was the leader of there was no Jew anymore.
Do you have good memories of him?
Yes. I always loved him, to be honest. He was very kind. He was cute old man. This is him. That's him. His version of the story was that he was always fleeing from the Russians and was a victim. He didn't tell anything about what he did there.
Anna is a member of a Christian church in the city of Tübingen in Germany. In the 1990s, the church leader found out that his father had been a member of the Wehrmacht. He was shocked and encouraged the church that numbers hundreds of people to follow in his footsteps and confront the silent past.
Do you know where is the museum? The museum, the Jewish museum? Do you know where is the museum?
The Remembrance Museum set up by the church was hard to find.
You mean this one?
This one?
I know it, yeah.
In the end, it was a flower vendor from Egypt who led us to the Holocaust Museum, which is located in the vaulted basement of a bookshop. This is, in a way, a reflection of the Holocaust in German discourse. It lies beneath the surface, in the subconscious.
It was really like a veil of silence. I don't talk about your past, you don't talk about my past, we just leave it like this.
So nowadays in Germany, it's very uncommon to talk about your family's past?
Still, yes. Family, you will talk about it like on a not personal level, on a history level, but not on a personal family level.
Michaela showed us the exhibits, the old photos. Holocaust denial is not common here in Germany, as it's against the law. But Holocaust denial definitely exists.
Is it considered impolite to ask your friend what did your grandfather did during the Holocaust?
They will say, why you want to know that? That's already past. Why? And also what people often will say, I think they were against the Nazis, or even they helped Jews. It's the saying that so many people who helped Jews, there shouldn't be any Shoah, because everyone helped or rescued or tried to help or whatever.
But
so
people ask?
No. In a normal conversation, you would never ask this question.
I wrote a song called Light because I call the people to do something with to research their story.
Ich hab gemerkt, dass ich geizige Menschen Juden nannte, obwohl ich nicht einen einzigen Juden kannte. Hab gedacht, Juden erkennt man an der Nase.
Now in looking back, I would call myself a neo-Nazi. With my friends, we always did the Hitler salute, and I used the word Jew as a curse.
Ich zeige auf niemanden mit dem Finger, doch die Lügen über Juden leben heute in ihren Kindern.
Can you describe the change that has occurred in you?
I had nightmares about shooting people, killing people.
Ich hab gelernt, dass nur die Wahrheit was verändert.
And I told my mom about my nightmares. She said to me, do not wonder the Shoah. This is alive in you.
Ich sehe nicht, dass die Zeit Wunden geheilt hat und glaube nicht, dass Arbeit, sondern Wahrheit frei macht.
Started to deal with the history of my family.
Das ist meine Familie. Mörder, Vergewaltiger und Diebe, die Juden gejagt haben wie Tiere.
It really hit me to see the reality, the guilt of my great-grandfathers, and that I did not behave in a different way.
Samuel repented and also joined this church that loves Israel and is located in the city of Tübingen. Today, Tübingen is a typical college town. The houses are colorful, but the past is sinister. Parts of racial theory were developed at the local university. High-ranking Nazi criminals responsible for the murder of more than 700,000 Jews originated from here. There is no other city in Germany whose share in the annihilation of the Jews was greater in relation to its size. The extent of the crimes corresponds to the extent of the silence. My grandfather, Ernst Hamann, was in the 4th Totenkopfstandarte in the Waffen-SS, the SS Totenkopfstandarte 4.
What I can say through the research in the internet, his unit was responsible to go into the villages where especially Jewish people were living before the army came and cleaning the villages. This was the major duty he had to do.
Frank knew he had an anti-Semitic grandfather who had participated in the war. His grandfather never shared anything. It was too hard for him, he had said. Discussions about the Holocaust were limited to the radio and television. At home, silence prevailed. Yet, Frank was deeply troubled by a sense that there was more to uncover, something he needed to know, but simply didn't. He wrote to the German Wehrmacht archive and received a box filled with mountains of systematically catalogued evidence.
It broke my heart, and I could see the deep roots of anti-Semitism in our family life. Until today, I'm the only person in my family who is caring. It shows something about the German society. I withdraw from the past. I withdraw from the family. I love my family. It's no matter. It's still my grandfather. It's still my grandmother.
Can you say you love them?
I find a way to love my family and to say I love my family, but I think it's the two different ways of loving. I love my daughter, and of course, you understand, but my grandfather is different.
Frank's daughter, Anna Suzette, nicknamed Zetti, has heard the family story multiple times. She's the second generation confronting her family's Nazi past. Do you speak Hebrew?
Yes, I used to volunteer in a rehabilitation village in the south of Israel. It's called Adi Negev Halat Eran. And then I volunteered at Yad Vashem for a few months.
Not all young Germans your age go to live in Israel.
That's right, it's Tikkun Olam, a Hebrew concept of repairing the world. Aware of my family's history and their actions, I'm committed to only doing good, fostering a new generation in Germany that upholds friendship with Israel and rejects anti-Semitism.
Zetti introduced us, cameraman Dani Störk and myself, to her church friends. Their collective effort to confront their family's Nazi histories has heightened their awareness of the ongoing presence of anti-Semitism in Germany, motivating them to actively combat it.
And last month we were publishing a series of videos where we were talking about different topics, for example, why we are standing for Israel and why it is important for us to stand against anti-Semitism. The amount of hate really shocked me. My grandfather was in SS, and I'm proud of it, what he did. It's the past. It's not my responsibility and not my problem. My great uncle was in the Wehrmacht, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of my great-grandfather.
One classmate was Jewish, and the group of friends, or my group of friends, bullied her, and they shouted to her Jewish pig. One time there on an entire floor on the school there was swastikas. I haven't said anything because I was so hardened and indifferent, and after I did researches on my own great-grandfathers, and after I was in Israel, and I realized what happened to her.
Lisa found out that her great-grandfather was an SS officer, and he was a high-ranking member of the extermination apparatus, operating all over Croatia, killing Jews. Moreover, she found out that her great-grandmother was also in a concentration camp. During the interview, my cameraman Dani whispers into my ear and tells me to ask about a particular camp.
You know if he was ever in Jasenovac in Croatia?
My grandmother was there.
I ask you about this camp specifically because that's where Dani's family, the cameraman, that's where they were during the Holocaust.
It's okay. Different words. No. Yes.
I'm so sorry.
I will try to stop.
Members of the church are active in the Holocaust remembrance as part of the March of Life organization. For years, they've been going on marches all around the world. They carry flags and call people to fight anti-Semitism. A big march will be held in Jerusalem on May 16. What started with small beginnings has now spread to 25 nations. Initially, we only had a one-time event, and now, year after year, hundreds of marches of life worldwide.
I had been with my brother in a March of Life event, and we told our story before a group of Holocaust survivors. We gave them flowers and asked for forgiveness.
Many we spoke with in Tübingen described being burdened by their family's past, which affected their lives, until they personally worked through it. Social psychologists call it trauma, and also the church members identify it as such. But they don't call it trauma in front of us Jews. Considering the suffering of the Jewish people, it's important for them not to first talk about their own traumas.
You feel guilty?
I would not say guilt, I would say shame. I feel it shame about my family, what they did then. As long as there are victims from the results of the Holocaust, we can do something with it. We can talk about it, and also what I did, ask for forgiveness.